Yo, what is up? Today we are at Texplex Park for another touring racing event. I'm racing intermediate lights, which is basically 250s and below. Anything can race. And yeah, I'm gonna be doing a bit of commentary throughout this entire thing. So let's go ahead and get to it today. All that redlining and holding the throttle open and all of that, and I couldn't even get a good start. So as you can see, started out dead last here. Basically, I was saying, man, this happens every time. Even though last race I pulled second out of the hole, but I make light work of all of this and catch up to the pack and start making my passes pretty quickly. Alright, so here we are entering the first phase of the track. Well, second phase technically. Right here is none but just a bunch of log jumps, bunch of obstacles, little small jumps that you gotta slow down for. Even though some people just skip like you saw right there. I think I stayed in them the entire way. But yeah, nothing special. We're about to head into the woods after this, and that's when things start getting interesting. Alright guys, as you guys heard, that's me revving at him, trying to let him know that, hey, I'm right here, I'm trying to pass. I made a little contact with his rear end, didn't think of nothing of it, didn't try to do that, but tried to slide by, but that just didn't work out. I'm not very good at passing, especially in stuff like this. But yeah, this is one of the things that held me back in this race a whole lot, was just starting at the very end and just having to work my way up and passing everyone. I burnt out a lot of energy that I should have been saving to fight for first. And some of these guys just did not want to let me pass, even though they knew that I was faster. So I had to come up with some crafty tricks, and don't hate me too much for it, for what you're about to see on this video. But I'm probably not going to upload the entire thing. If I do, that just means that I found it interesting enough for myself to watch over and over again. So yeah, let's get back to the video.
Why am I running? Like I've never raced before.
Alright guys, the more I'm watching this, the more I'm realizing this low-key, nah, not even low-key, this high-key looks sped up as heck. But I promise you guys it's not sped up. This is what happens when you put the GoPro Hero 10 on battery saving mode in video. It'll shut it down to like 2.4K frames per second, and it's like 30 frames per second, and it turns off camera stability and turns off basically all additional features like horizon leveling and all that. It takes all of that off because it's trying to save as much battery while still getting decent content. So you can check my speed and all of that. This is all just how fast we were rolling, and this is how it looks when there is no camera stability on by any means. This was just a rough track, and this is how it is majority of the time. The GoPros just make everything look super smooth, and I hate that. But now you guys see what it actually looks like, and it looks sped up as hell. But it's not, I promise.
Oh my god.
Alright guys, so right here, trying to get past a little bit. I did get a little frustrated because like I said, I'm not good at passing. And this dude knows how to like hold his line and block and do everything that he needs to do. He's probably not even conscious that he's doing it. He's probably just riding his race and doing his best. Not hating on him or anything, just I need to figure out a way to get around him. And yeah, move on with the race. But this is a fun section right here. And I'm riding this track right now like it's my first time ever riding it. But do not worry, I do get a whole lot better once I'm able to get in my zone, get in my flow. Alright, so kudos to this guy. I forgot his name. I'm sorry, bro. For holding me off several times in his attempts on this. But dude just knows how to ride defensively very well. And that's just something I gotta learn how to counterattack or counter to. But yeah. But it's not the last you'll see of me. But that was a nice little run section right there. Couldn't make the pass. So yeah. That's just how it goes sometimes. Be smart, wait for another opportunity, don't rush it. Yeah, right here I started getting a bit more upset because I couldn't get around him. But yeah, let's go ahead and keep going. Yeah, right here, we made contact. I was over to the right, trying to pass on the right, and he started coming over just a little bit, just enough to our handlebars touched, and I was able to save mine, but he wasn't. After the race ended and everything, he was at the finish line, and we talked about it, and he was like, yeah, it was my fault more so. I came over on you, but I still felt bad either way because, well, we made contact and he went down. But yeah, that's just sadly part of racing. But yeah, we gotta keep on going. We got a race to finish. So we not gonna talk about that. Was how dank of a wheelie that was. Just wheelied across all those logs. That looked nice. Tried to do it right here. Couldn't do it all the way. When dude doubled right there, that kind of just gave me a lot of shock right there because I was just going to. Well, I talked to someone earlier and they said that they were doing it, but I didn't think it would look that easy and create that much more momentum. But as y'all saw, it didn't really make a real difference. I think right here we came in contact a little bit, but we were both able to hold it pretty well. I did do a little bit of revving, trying to do a little hollering, let them know like, hey, I came out of nowhere to directly behind you on your rear wheel. Maybe you should let me pass. And what I did next after he wasn't able to let me pass and slowing me up by a lot was something that we talked about at the end. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. Don't judge me for what happened.
I'm not in your class! I'm not in your class! Yes, I am!
Now I know you guys are probably thinking, oh, that was a cheap way to pass, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Couldn't care less. Because it's such tight single track, the only other way I would have been able to pass is either A, stuff him in a corner and possibly take him out, or B, just straight up slide into him and do like a Justin Barsha takeout. So I tried to be pretty fair and not touch him and just try to get around him as safely as possible. And sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Is that something I'll use again? No guarantee that I won't. But it's a difference to me when I'm appearing out of nowhere, like you are by yourself and then you see me directly on your rear wheel and I'm on your rear wheel trying to constantly make a pass and you're just like, nah, I'm not going to let you pass. That's putting yourself more so in danger because the longer you do that, the more impatient I'm going to become. And I can end up taking either you out or end up taking us both out. So sometimes I'll do little tricks or something like that to get around safely and make sure you're still safe. I know you guys are probably saying, oh, that's cheap, you can't do that. Well, it's either that or I get a little forceful with it. And I don't like being forceful, as y'all saw earlier. I felt really bad about that, and me and Dude had a whole conversation about that. But after the race, me and him did talk about this as well. And I told him, I was like, dude, I came out of nowhere on you. I was trying to make a pass. I didn't want to put you in a corner or put you in the dirt. And he was like, yeah, understandable. Appreciate you for, well, not doing that to me. But yeah, pretty iffy situation is all I can say on that. Another thing to add about what I was saying earlier, I thought, like, watching this video, I'm like, oh, I could have waited to make a pass on him later or something like that. But I felt like it would have ended up the same way with the other dude where we clipped handlebars. I'm like, oh, took a nice little digger in the shed right there. I'd rather just do it safely and as swiftly as possible. Because number one, as you can see, I got ahead of him and he wasn't able to keep up. No shade on Dude or anything like that. He's a good rider. I've seen him race a few times and Dude can haul butt. But it's just, he wasn't really able to stay on my rear wheel all the way as necessary. And if someone came up on my rear wheel, like I'm in a trail or in single track and they're catching up to me like that, and I see them come from nowhere, I'm going to pull over and let them pass because obviously it's like, hey, you came out of nowhere. You're going very fast for you to catch me when I was by myself. So I'll let you pass. That's not a problem. But some guys are like, nope, you got to work for this. And depending on who they are or how impatient they are or what their points or position is, that can get very dangerous and very iffy really, really quick. But yeah, say how you feel in the comments. I know some of you guys aren't going to be happy. I don't really care. But at the same time, I still want to hear your opinion on it. What could I have done differently? But yeah, let me know what's good. started to think, hey, I may be in first place. But then I also started doubting myself, saying, I remember it was a green Kawasaki that was in front that like was on the start line. I haven't seen him, and I started at last, so I should have passed him by now. So it went from, oh, I can go like a nice slower race pace and conserve a bit of stamina for the last few laps so I can push real hard, to, oh no, I have to push extra hard the entire race just to see if I'm actually in first place. But right now, I believe I am in second. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I don't get past or pass anyone else. So I do believe I'm in second place right now. So I passed a few people on tracks, off the track, stuff like that. And around here is going to be someone that comes around, or next lap, I believe, that's going to be an experts class that kind of just eats me alive. But once I saw how fast he was, I immediately pull over and let him pass, or I fall, or one of them. But yeah, he still got around me pretty quickly. But it went from maybe I can go race pace to, oh no, I have to push harder really, really quickly. Problems of cross country, you never know what position you're in. Yeah, right around here is when I was basically just out in the woods by myself for a good part. I didn't see any other race bike or competitor, even from different classes, for a good little minute. And I started assuming, oh, I could be in first once again, but nope, never saw the green Cowie. So I'm kind of just trying to pace myself, trying not to fall, do anything stupid that can end my race, potentially. Because think of this, even if I am in second place, second is still better than third and below. I rather kind of try to preserve where I am rather than do something stupid that wasn't necessary and take myself off the podium. So right now I'm kind of thinking risk versus reward type of thing. I really did want my first ever first place. But right now I'm just kind of like, okay, is it worth it to put myself in even more danger when I have a solidified gap between second and third, and it's a gap between first and second? I think at one point it got down to 10 seconds, but I took a nice digger in the mud hole if my GoPro didn't die before that. But right now I'm kind of just asking myself in my head, like, the serious race questions, like, is it necessary to take this risk and try to push harder? So right now, the decision I kind of ended up coming up with was, yeah, it's worth the risk. Go for it. Why am I asking myself this question? I will probably never ask myself this question again. Basically, I just wanted to make sure that I could at least finish second, but I really did want to go for first. So I kind of pushed myself harder, but not to the point of it's just a matter of time before I crash type of hard. Because I want to be consistent versus having the first place and then I have to sit out the next few races because something went wrong. So, yeah. That was my train of thought, and I believe I actually started catching someone, but I didn't know if they were in my class or not, and they had a good little gap on me. I was just able to see their smoke and see them a little bit few times. So that kind of gave me a little motivation to go ahead and go a little harder. So, but I did end up finishing the race safely and crossing in second place. But nothing else happens, nothing exciting. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I did end up getting second overall with second place finish. I caught up to first place and was 10 seconds behind, took a digger in the mud hole, and then just kind of stayed where I was. That'll be everything, guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. Have a good day, and come back for my next video.